Hey comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0, and fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do Road to Comic of the Year results show, plus the introduction to group number 7, the final group, before we get into the viewer's choice pick. That's right, guys. Now, if you're watching this video, you're probably wondering, what the hell is this crap? Well, if you're a comic book fan, I've picked a whole bunch of #1 comics that are in my countdown videos each and every week. I've put it in separate groupings, and I have you, the fans, vote which comics you want nominated for Comic of the Year. And once we get all those comics together, then they will go into one final voting where, again, yes, you, the fans, will vote for that favorite comic book of the year. So with that being said, guys, let's recap real quick group number 6 on which books we were talking about last week, and that was Age of Ultron vs. Marvel Zombies, issue number 2. The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 5. The Illuminati, issue number 1. Superior Iron Man, issue number 4. Green Lantern, issue number 47. Secret Wars, issue number 2. And last but not least, Invincible, issue number 118. So what was your favorite book? What was your least one? And what was the one that went into the wild card round? Well, let's find out. So, with absolutely no votes at all, and this kind of didn't surprise me, Age of Ultron versus Marvel Zombies, no one liked it. They don't want to see that get nominated Comic of the Year, so bye-bye, buddy. Next, we wind up getting no votes for the Illuminati. No one seemed to like this book to warrant consideration for Comic Book of the Year. Can totally understand that. We got to make our cuts somewhere, right? Next book, which I thought might get something, and it did. It wound up getting 2 votes by one person, was Superior Iron Man, issue number 4. No other votes, which I was kind of surprised by that. This is a really good series. Alright, so now it comes down to the book that didn't get any votes was, well, it did get votes, and I actually thought it was going to win at first, but then it wound up being overwhelmed by the next 3 books, and that was Green Lantern issue number 47. So, sorry Green Lantern, the one issue that you had this year did not make it into the finals. Alright, so now it's between these 3 books. We have The Amazing Spider-Man issue 5, we have Secret Wars issue 2, and Invincible issue number 118. And the actual winner this time around goes to Invincible issue 118. That's right, guys. This book kind of represents what Marvel is, or excuse me, what Image is. It really wants to introduce readers to its series and making it affordable for people. And that's what this book actually did. This book was a quarter, everybody. You don't see that anymore, and this was a real story. So, and it wasn't just some fill-in-the-blank story. It was a jumping on point for new readers out there. They did a good recap, and it's a new planet that Mark and Adam and Eve and Tara wind up going to. And so this was a wonderfully written book, and I'm very happy that this got the nod and people recognized that. So this was your book that was nominated for Comic of the Year. Now, which book gets that wild card round? Well, I had to make a tough decision because, yes, it was tie. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, but then Secret Wars issue number 2 was really a great world-building series at the when the series first came out type of book. So I had to make a decision, and I liked both issues. However, I had to make a logical decision this time. And I decided to give Secret Wars issue 2 the wild card nod, due to the fact that I have a Renew Your Vows nominated for Comic of the Year. Also, Renew Your Vows issue number 3 in a wild card round. So it only makes sense for Secret Wars to get its shot at a wild card round. So this is the one that gets it this time around. Just trying to make it fair for everybody to get the most opportunity and the most variety of comics in the finals and in the wild card rounds. All right, so with that being said, let's jump into the final group, group number 7. All right, so the first book we're going to talk about is Robin Hood, issue number 11. This was a really well done book by Patrick Shand, as this book had our heroes going to a comic convention, and it was really well done, as there was a lot of nods to different characters in this actual book, and they were being stalked by these wolf-like creatures. And you got to see a type of Street Fighter character in there. You wound up seeing Adventure Time being represented in there. You wound up seeing a whole bunch of Princess Slave Leia's being represented in there, like everyone was dressed at them. And this was a really comical issue. It really had great character interactions in here. This was probably one of Pat Shand's best issues, in my opinion, that he wrote for Robin Hood. So if you guys want to see this get nominated for Comic of the Year, please vote now. All right, the next book we're going to talk about is Guardians of the Galaxy issue number 26. This is what happened right before the Secret Wars and right after Black Vortex. So you really get to see our characters move forward after Black Vortex. You realize that Kitty Pryde actually has her cosmic powers. Gamora has her cosmic powers. Venom Space Knight is in here. And we wind up seeing that Peter Quill is actually being recruited to be the Spartex king. And he's like, man, you got to be kidding me. This ain't the way it's supposed to go. And so there was lots of funny interactions in this actual book. And then at the end of the book, you think that some kind of incursion is going to happen and it destroys the Spartex. And so that's what you wind up seeing there. Really well done book. Again, it comes off the heels off of Black Vortex. Great character interactions, just funny moments between alien creatures and Peter Quill as it's barfing all over the place. Just an awesome, awesome book. And this is when the book really started getting good. So if you guys want to see that get voted for or get nominated for Comic of the Year, please vote now. All right, next we go on to another Zenescope Entertainment book, and this is Grim Tales of Terror. This is issue number 8. The reason why this got nominated for, or got my #1 pick in my countdown videos, was because these are great one-shot stories that do with horror, and you gotta love the kick-ass cover. If you're a Whitesnake fan and you grew up to the band Whitesnake, you had that hot girl on the cover on the car. That's kind of what this is. It's a tribute to that, and I really love that cover. And in this particular issue, you wind up seeing this story happens between this guy who picks up this girl, and you wind up finding out that I guess there was this tale where he accidentally killed the lady. It was a complete accident. And, they got into this altercation. And so what happens is he goes to bury her, and he's driving down the street. Next thing you see is he's like in the middle of the road, and it's insane. And he's just tripping balls, and then she winds up in the back of his seat. It was just a really scary, really horrific book, something that you would see in a movie theater. And that's what Grim Tales of Terror really does. It's that horror book of the month. It's like a Tales from the Crypt type of thing. And this was a standout story, so I really enjoyed this one. So if you guys want to see this get nominated for Comic of the Year, please vote now. All right, next we talk about the first volume of Ant-Man right before Secret Wars came out. And this was issue number 2. This is where Hank Pym actually goes to Miami. And we wind up seeing him trying to get established. We wind up seeing him with Cassie Lang. And he's trying to become a security guard. And you got to really love this issue. And if you're an Ant-Man fan, this kind of introduces you to how the character would be in the movie. So really enjoyed this. I think Nick Spencer did a wonderful job in writing this book, and very humorous. It's very well balanced. And so if you want to see this get nominated for Comic of the Year, please vote now. Okay, so the next book we are going to talk about is The Walking Dead issue number 144. That's right, guys. This was the shocking issue where you find out that Alpha has a huge horde of zombies getting ready to be let loose on Rick's group if he sits there and flinches the wrong way. And Alpha sits there and threatens Rick, do not cross my borders again or you will be sorry. So just to make a actual statement to Rick to say, hey, I'm not kidding around, we find out and they go to the border and they find a whole bunch of stakes. And when he gets to those stakes, well, not only is it just stakes, but it's heads on the stake of major characters or characters that lived in Alexandria, and two of them included major players in this book, which one was Rosita, and the final one was Ezekiel, as you get to see his head on a stake as well. And it's just a jaw-dropping type of issue, and you can feel the emotion and the pain within Rick and his group with that huge cliffhanger. And the group has not been the same since this event has happened. So if you want to see this get nominated for Comic of the Year, please vote for The Walking Dead issue number 144. All right, next we have another independent book that we're going to talk about, and I actually don't have the cover. I can't find the flipping book. It's driving me crazy. But the book I want to talk about was Saga issue number 31. It just returned. It came out a couple of weeks ago, and it excuse me, and it had to do with Baby Hazel, I think that's the name, and it wound up her interacting with other characters really for the first time, and you wind up seeing her go to school, and even though she's kind of kept as prisoner right now, you wind up seeing that she goes to school and she interacts with the teacher, and she finds out that she's different. She sees a transgender person in the shower, and she realizes that she's not quite right there as well. So there's a lot of parallels there, and she kind of reveals herself to the teacher, because the teacher thought she was a great student and said, hey, you can talk to me about anything, and she reveals herself that she's two different races, and these races are at war with each other. The teacher winds up fainting, hits her head on the table, and she's bleeding out on the floor, and the baby doesn't know what to do, and she's kind of like, oh my god, I can't believe it. And that's how the actual issue ended. It was a great return for Saga. Really enjoyed that issue. If you guys want to vote for Saga issue number 31, please vote now. Alright, and finally, last but not least, we have one more independent book to talk about, and that book, guys, goes to, and I talk about it a lot recently, and that is Tokyo Ghost issue number 2. As in this issue, you really get the introduction to these characters of Teddy and Debbie. And who they are, where they came from, the type of missions that they have to go in to try to free themselves, to try to get peace, and just a really interesting issue, really type of world or character building issue, as you get to see all the dialogue in here, where Debbie came from. You wind up finding out where Teddy came from and why he's addicted to these types of drugs, and we get to see no matter what type of shape that Teddy is in, Debbie and Teddy really love each other. So the character development here is awesome, and you wind up finding out they go to the new location that they have to go to get free. They have to take out this crime lord boss, and the artwork by Sean Murphy is second to none here. It's beautiful, and it fits the book gorgeously. You get to see these landscapes in here. Just a really well done book. And if you guys have read this book by Rick Remender and Sean Murphy, it is a top-notch book. So if you want to see this get nominated for Comic of the Year, please vote now. So guys, there you have it. There are the books for Group 7. Again, every vote counts. Don't forget, this is the last group. And then next week will be the viewer's choice, where you, The comic fans will put down what comic you want nominated for Comic of the Year, what your favorite read was. And if we have multiples, that's the one that gets that top pick. So, guys, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. Till the next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.